Yes, our live started. First 20 minutes guided meditation by Megan.
Okay. As we get started, make sure that you find a comfortable position. I like to sit up as straight as I can, but there's no requirement, just as long as you're comfortable. Slowly close your eyes and start to think about relaxing your body. So relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, place your hands in a comfortable position. Feel the support that's beneath you, maybe a chair, maybe a couch. I'm sitting on my bed. And so just think about how it feels to settle into that position. Sometimes taking a few deep breaths helps you relax. Begin to just focus on your breathing. There's no right or wrong way to breathe, just aware of your breathing. If you have wandering thoughts, that's normal. Just gently bring your awareness back to your breathing. about 2 minutes left. Slowly open your eyes. Begin to just find awareness in your body again. Feel the support of where you're sitting or laying. Become aware of your surroundings again. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Thank you for joining me in that meditation. I hope that you enjoyed it. Now I want to introduce James Parker. He is married with 2 children, working at Duke University. He started meditating in 2021 with an enlightened master, and he is involved in teaching in the PSSM book club. So, hi, James. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, one small change in my bio. I'm no longer working at Duke.
Oh,
I changed my job. I am now working at NC State University
okay,
uh,
awesome.
as of March 3rd. So it was a recent change.
Congratulations on that job change.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a good change. Duke's a great place to work, but this is a better job for me. So, okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone, my brothers and sisters. Again, I want to say that we are one. I like to start off with that because for some people it could be disturbing to say that. And it's a good disturbance, actually, because it's a pointer to the truth. It's a pointer to the ultimate truth. And it breaks up the usual patterns. Okay. So this is a session where we want to talk about healing. How can we heal ourselves? Now, there's always the usual traditional way, which is fine for a lot of people. And if you need it, I always tell people if you need it, go for it. All the ways are great, all the ways. You have to do what's right for you. But I like to focus on alternative ways of healing because that's where our power lies. Our power lies in ourselves, and we can claim it anytime we want. And if we realize that the power lies within ourselves, then we know that we don't actually have to go somewhere to find healing. Of course, anybody can do that anytime they want. They can go somewhere or they can turn within. Either choice. Just depends what you want, what you need. So let's talk about it in terms of our own power and looking within for healing. Last time we discussed forgiveness as a pathway to healing, and we talked about forgiveness. And the reason I brought up forgiveness is because it's a pointer to the truth. So forgiveness itself isn't the truth, but it's a pointer to the truth. And that's what we're looking for when we want healing. We're looking for the truth. And but it's important to start with forgiveness because we have to break the usual thought patterns that are in the mind that are holding us back. Okay. And the way to break them is by going towards the truth or bringing truth to you, however you want to look at it. And forgiveness is just that opportunity. We want to forgive ourselves for anything that we thought we did that didn't meet expectations, that we thought was wrong. We just want to look within and forgive ourselves that. And we want to tell ourselves it's okay to make a mistake. We're here in this human experience, and part of this human experience is about making mistakes. And we're learning from these mistakes that we make. And nobody intends really to go out and do harm to anyone. And so being willing to forgive ourselves, our mistakes, is very, very vital to advancing towards the truth. And also being willing to forgive others, their mistakes. And the mistake comes because it's an expectation that we hold in the mind, right? We hold an expectation up for somebody and we say, well, they have to meet this. And then when they don't, wow, they made a mistake in our eyes. Maybe not in their eyes, or maybe so. It doesn't really matter. But when we have the expectation and that person doesn't meet it, that's the mistake. And then we are tempted to hold a grievance. Oh, they did me wrong. And this is where we generate the negative energy that can serve as a block to healing. Okay. When we hold a grievance against one of our brothers or sisters. And so forgiveness undoes these grievances. It undoes these mistakes that we make. And it really brings us to the level of love. Once we've forgiven ourselves and everyone else, there's nothing blocking love. You might say to yourself, but I need forgiveness. I need to be forgiven. I would disagree with that. I would say, no, you don't. You don't need to be forgiven by anyone because as soon as you say that, you give your power away. What's more needed is to be willing to forgive others and self so that grievances can fall away. And then space or room is created for love to come in. And the love energy that comes in is the healing energy that we need. And so that's why last time I wanted to focus on forgiveness. And also we mentioned the power of belief. So the power of belief is very strong, and what we put our beliefs behind tends to become a reality for us. And so I gave some examples about how those things, when we believe wrongly, we make certain things manifest, and that can lead to disease and illness. And so it's important to withdraw the power of belief that's behind an illness or a disease. We create our own reality by our very thoughts. And this is not something that is talked about a lot. It's not considered scientific to say these things because these things aren't testable scientifically. You can still test it for your own self, though. And that's the thing that most people don't talk about. You, as a subjective being, can test anything you want. And you can test it to see, is it true for you? Does it work for you? If you withdraw the power of your belief that you're ill, does the illness dissipate? And I don't necessarily mean instantly. It could, but does it dissipate over time? Was it less severe than it might have been because you withdrew the power of your belief from it? These are questions that you can certainly examine for yourself and find out if they're true. So I would suggest to you that withdrawing the power of belief behind illness is indeed something worthwhile. Now, why would that be true? Why would it be true? Okay. Go back to what I said about love as being the healing energy. Love is what's true. And if this is true, how is it possible for there to be illness and disease and suffering unless we made it ourselves by making a mistake because we believed in something that wasn't true? Okay, think about that for a minute. If love is true, then disease and illness cannot possibly be true. And it only seems true because we're letting the power of our belief go in that direction unchecked and unchallenged, and for lots of reasons, for reasons that are beyond most people's ability to even know. And so sometimes people say, well, it's due to ignorance. And it is, of course. We don't know that we're even doing it. And so we need to be more aware of where we're putting the power of our belief because it is so powerful. Okay, so today, what I would like to do is I would like to read a story that I wrote, and this is about my experience uh, in meditation. And I want to read it because I think it's very illustrative, not because it's special, but because I think it's illustrative and it has a lot of points that you can consider. So I'll just read it, you listen, and if anybody wants to talk about it or ask me questions about it, that would be fun. So I've called this Outside the Mind. This is a story of my experience during an 8-day group meditation, radical aliveness retreat. There's only silence. All is supremely calm. Not a thought arises. Only there exists being, awareness, joy, bliss, and love. The deepest peace beyond imagination is. A loving, expansive energy fire appears in the heart. A deep silence ensues, envelops. I am the silence. Thoughts settle, peace deepens, an expansiveness, vast and deep, like the ocean, opens. An intuitive knowingness has quieted a once chattering mind. A burning as a fire spontaneously ignites in the heart. I am fire. I am energy. This energy fire burns away everything I thought I was, all limiting ideas of imperfection. Any idea takes its power through the will. Limiting ideas imprison. Expansive ideas, like perfection, love, they create. Stop willing an idea and it loses its power. Now there's freedom to create anew. No longer are negative mental, emotional states possible as they burn away. Now is openness, understanding, love, and joy bliss. I am free without any limits. I am not a body. When I look into the eyes of another, there are not two, but one. Another is not an object, but the very same subject. There's no stranger, no other. Seeing another as oneself is love without conditions. The fire of love melted my heart, bringing such intense joy and bliss that tears burst forth on many occasions. What I thought I was, my foundation of self, built upon limiting ideas and untruths, lies even, exists no longer. In its place is the vast, unlimited expanse of love. Love lives in the heart, and she is seen shining through the eyes of all, whether human, animal, or other beings. There's an energy which flows, flowing through the heart, and like a river it bursts forth, overflowing any barrier, conquering all. This energy of love is bound together with life, intertwined, and they flow through awareness, sometimes calmly, sometimes with much force. Everyone is perfect. Everyone is a perfect expression of love. The essence of what we are, this love, is perfection itself. Love is the power that unites life and awareness. All of life is beautiful and joyful because all of life is love. This earth life is a marvel of opportunity to know through relationships. What has happened for me since this malfunctioning mind stopped is unexpected. Every disease and sickness that was present spontaneously healed and disappeared. Angina, allergies, arthritis, frozen shoulder, enlarged prostate, troubling thoughts, and certain skin blemishes, well, they literally fell off the skin. Some of these diseases were chronic. My therapist said would likely be present for as long as the body lived. That turned out not to be true. Sickness and disease no longer exist for me. Alcohol can no longer be tolerated and is therefore not consumed. Whereas I used to eat almost anything, meat is now completely avoided. Spirit has taken these decisions. Its will is now expressed easily. There is no mind resistance. Healing. Some think of healing as physical. This is one level of healing. To truly understand healing, it's necessary to know that we humans have a minimum of 3 dimensions: body, mind, and spirit. Healing means wholeness, and it exists at the spiritual level, which is the level of power. When the spirit is energized by will and knowing, healing energy flows through the mind and into the body. It works this way because the mind is the means by which spirit expresses. Mind control is critical. The mind is not the brain, and the brain is not the mind. The mind exists in every cell of the body. And therefore, when the spirit wills wholeness, healing energy, or love flows into the mind, into every cell of the body. Now, sickness is no more, mental suffering is no more, physical problems are no more. It is impossible to have these after healing. And the reason is simply because the mind has been changed. Some call such healing a miracle, and yes, it is that. This miracle comes from love, which is what we are. By sending love, in being love, and in receiving love, we heal ourselves. Now, I will say a few of my expansive and creative ideas as a continuation of this because it was part of the theme here. So the first one is never forsake yourself. This means being true, not criticizing, not judging, but accepting what is now. What does it mean to be true? It means honoring the relationships. We define ourselves through every relationship we have. Relationships aren't rigid, and our roles are self-defined. If you don't like a relationship, change it. You define it. Why not make it how you want it? Without relationships, who would you be? The next expansive idea is remember your perfection. You are perfect. Say, I am perfect, especially when you're tempted to believe otherwise. The phrase I am is very powerful. You can use it to create who you are and who you want to be. Just repeat I am and fill in with the word that you want to be. Perhaps you want to be love, peace, joy, beauty, perfection, youth, timeless, etc. This is a creative expression which contributes to our ever-evolving selves and world and always results in effect. Another creative or expansive idea is I love you. Stand in front of a mirror saying, I love you. Notice what happens. Do this again tomorrow. Repeat daily and often. This is not selfish behavior, but the opposite. This is being true to yourself, never forsaking yourself. Remember, there exists body, mind, and spirit. We are multidimensional beings, even if the body's eyes see only the body. Another expansive idea. We are awareness built on a foundation of love. God is love. These two statements show our unity with each other and with our source, that from which we come and that which we are, which we always will be. And the final expansive idea that I want to share is this question. Why do people do what they do? And my answer is no, it's not for the money. The fundamental reason to do anything is love. Giving and receiving in relationship is an expression of love. Learning, working, teaching, doing, healing, etc. are all done in relationship and are fundamentally expressions of love. And so that is what I have written. And if anyone has questions or would like to talk about any parts of this, I would be happy to expand on anything.
I just wanted to say that was really great, and thank you for sharing that experience and that lens.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Um, I took some time writing this, of course. I didn't fully appreciate or understand what happened at the time, although I knew it was very transformative and very powerful. And the healing that occurred, some of it occurred immediately. It was like instantaneously. And then other things took more time to heal. Um, like some of the things that happened quickly, like right away, um, were things like angina and arthritis and frozen shoulder going away. Even the enlarged prostate, that was gone in an instant, as far as I could tell. Um, what took longer to heal were the skin blemishes. I had some skin blemishes under my eye, and I was even contemplating to go to a cosmetic surgeon to get them removed because they'd been there for many, many years, and they were only getting bigger with time. And I just thought, oh, it's not very pleasant. I think I'll spend some money and have a cosmetic surgeon remove those. Well, I made the appointment, and about a week before I was scheduled to go, the blemish just fell off. I was kind of did this, and it fell off onto my skin. This thing had been there for, I would say, over 10 years, and it started off small and almost unnoticeable, but was getting bigger and bigger with time. And never did I have any indication that it would just resolve itself. But I'm sure the energy field of love did the trick. So that resolved itself with some time after, and also the allergies. It took me to realize that the allergies should also resolve in the field of love. And for a while, I didn't understand why they weren't. Why are the allergies still there, but everything else is pretty much gone? And then I realized it had to be to do with my thinking. It must be to do with my thinking. One of the clues I had was I wasn't allergic my whole life to tree pollen. I only became allergic to tree pollen in my mid 20s. And it doesn't make any sense to me why that would be the case. But I do remember very clearly in 1998, spring, I got a huge negative reaction from tree pollen. It seemed at first I didn't know what it was from, but somebody told me, "Oh, it's got to be the tree pollen because it's spring and those trees are all getting crazy out there." And so I thought, well, okay, that must be the reason. But at the time, I think I was around 26 years old, and I'd never had anything like it. And after I had this experience, this was in the year 2021 with the group meditation, um, I noticed that the allergies were less severe, quite a bit less severe, but they were still present. They were still in a mild form. And I finally realized that I needed to withdraw the power of my belief from them. The negative thought patterns that we have are there and are only going to be broken when we realize that our will is powering them. And we have complete control over the will. It's our will, okay? It's your will. You can do with it what you want. Keep that in mind. That's what it will means. It means you do with it what you want. And if you find that an idea is not serving you anymore, like an idea that I'm allergic to tree pollen, you withdraw the power of will that's behind that idea. This will powers all of our ideas, every single one of them. And as soon as you say, I've had enough of that, I don't want that anymore. No, this doesn't serve me. I am not allergic to tree pollen. It'll dissipate over time. It may go down quickly or it may just take a while. For me, it took a while, but it's gone. And I certainly believe that that's the reason it's gone. It's the energy field of love, and it's the combination of withdrawing the power of will that's behind that idea. So, like I said in my write-up, mind control is critical. Healing energy flows through the mind and into the body. And if the mind is opposing it with what I would call negative thinking, then it's going to be hard for enough healing energy to flow through because your will isn't behind that. Your will isn't supporting that energy field of love to really flow through you like it needs to. Okay. The body must be loved in order to be able to live. The body cannot live without love. You can feed it, you can water it, you can take care of it, but if you're not doing it out of love, it can't live. And so it will become sick, it will become diseased, it will die. And how do we know this is true? Because there have been experiments done, maybe unintentional experiments in World War II when parents were serving and were killed, and babies were put in centers, and they were just kind of robotically cared for by people who didn't really love them. They didn't thrive. There was a higher rate of mortality, a very high rate of mortality. Okay. And the only explanation that anybody came up with that makes any sense at all was they weren't in a nurturing, loving environment. They were just getting their physical needs met, and that's all. And so we know that without love, we don't live. How can we live without love? Love is the energy that holds life and awareness together. Okay. Life and awareness are aspects of the spirit. The spirit is life. The spirit is awareness. What connects the two together is this energy of love. Okay. If love is blocked, these things will not be able to sustain the physical body. They're still there, of course. They're still present in who we are, but the physical body will deteriorate and dissipate if love isn't there. What was the other thing that was healed for me? It was troubling thoughts. So I used to have troubling thoughts. I used to have negative self-talk, used to have crazy ideas that, hey, that's not good enough, all kinds of crazy ideas. And I gotta say, they are crazy. Just immediately withdraw your will from any idea that says anything that you're anything less than perfect. Withdraw your attention from it immediately because it's not true. Um, every single one is perfect. I mean, I look at everybody and I say, you're perfect. I don't care who agrees or who disagrees with me. You are absolutely perfect. Now, you might say, well, yeah, but I don't like something about something. It's okay. You don't have to like something about your body. Your body just is what it is. And it's actually perfect. It was made perfect. Um, and it will function even better than it's been functioning with self-love. So looking at yourself and saying, I am perfect. I know I'm perfect because Where do I come from? I come from the source. I come from the source of everything. That source is everything. And what's powering it is the love that's behind it. That's the power of the universe. That's what you are. And you cannot be anything but perfect with that energy behind you. So don't worry about making mistakes. Making mistake is just kind of a level of thought or a level of awareness. Um, one person's mistake is probably another person's perfection, I would say. It all depends on how you look at it. It all depends on where you're coming from. So, you know, so just remember healing can be physical, it can be seen as physical, but it's an energy that flows from spirit through your mind. And your mind is, like I said, the mechanism by which spirit expresses itself. That's really the true function of the mind, to allow the spirit to express. And the body allows for a physical experience. And so that's the function of the body. How can the body provide a physical experience for us that's worthy if we're diseased and ill and sick? It can't, and that's not the intention. That's not the intention. We are not meant to be diseased and ill and sick. So when we redirect ourselves to truth and come to a knowingness of who we truly are, which is love, and allow this love to flow through us, we're automatically healed of any disease or sickness, including physical problems. You know, like I said, I'll always say it's fine to go to a doctor if you need it. You break your arm, a doctor's a great place to be. You know, I'd go to a doctor if I broke my arm. I sure would. I think they're very helpful with a lot of things. But there's some things that, it's hard for a doctor to treat you with, especially when you're given pills and you're told, take these pills for the rest of your life because it's the only thing we know what to do with you. Those are the situations where you really want to focus on love and, you know, meditation is what really, really, really helps to undo the blockages that are put up in mind, blockages against this flow of love. Meditation calms the mind. And when the mind becomes calm, we become peaceful. And this peaceful, restful, calm state is very conducive for allowing this flow of love through from spirit through mind into body. So meditation is one of the most effective ways, that coupled with forgiveness. Um, it's one of the most effective ways that we can bring this healing energy into our bodies. So no matter how severe you think your illness is, or how horrible or bad of a situation it is, it can be turned around by using the power of forgiveness, by using the power of your will to withdraw belief from wrong ideas, and by using the power of meditation to calm and still the mind. All of these things can turn around any problem at all. And the reason why they can turn around any problem at all is because all problems are the same. They're all the same. They all stem from the same reason. We're the ones who decided to believe in something that's not true. And our power of belief is very powerful indeed. So powerful, most people don't understand it. But once we can control it through willing and through the mind, you can do anything, anything you want. So, any questions on anything that we've discussed today? Be happy to answer them if anyone has any. If not, that's fine too. So I want to say I love you all. I am sending you the energy of love. Let this love energy flow into your mind and into your heart and into your body to heal you of any disease or ailments you may be suffering from.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you for being here. It's been great to see you all again. I've enjoyed our time together, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a
Thank
good night,
you.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.